Dude, I can't believe that happened. All right. Let's just get people in here so y'all know y'all can join. All right. So y'all see the video. I'm recording, or y'all see the post. I'm recording, so we're gonna get this going. Trump dares to help the U.S. economy despite protests. Now, I know we've all seen the protests that happened in Chicago. They happened in basically the left-leaning cities that are up north and to the left, and then you got some in New York. I believe some in Chicago. So people protested, but what they're not understanding is Trump is actually doing a good job. He's actually done more in this time than anything Biden ever did. If you actually, and I've actually got numbers that back that up. Biden apparently he only put in about 900 billion into the free market, the open market. Trump has already done over 100 billion, or not 100 billion, 100 trillion. Sorry, 100 trillion. So, this is interesting to me. There we go. We got people coming in here. I thought TikTok was going to screw me over because they told me that I couldn't have multi guests and I had to restart my stream. And everybody knows how that goes. But yeah, so these are the investments that have been made recently. And this is because of Trump. And people don't want to give him credit for that. Whatever. I don't care. But you can't say that what Trump is doing wasn't necessary, because it is, and it has been. We've been getting screwed not only with tariffs, but I mean our national debt. We all know the national debt has skyrocketed, and it just keeps getting worse and worse. And it couldn't continue that way. Something had to shake. Every year, $1 to $2 billion, we were going further into the hole with China. You can't do that. That's not a sustainable economy, right? So let's go ahead and look at this. Johnson & Johnson. They were one of the first to actually announce an investment when Trump came into office. And this is about a month old. This page right here that I'm looking at, it's about a month old. So there's been more investments, but this is the most recent one that I can find. Johnson & Johnson Friday announced manufacturing research and development technology investments of more than $55 billion into the U.S. over the next 4 years. That's pretty big. They say it represents a 25% increase in investment compared to the previous 4 years under President Joe Biden, crediting an increase in investment levels to the 2017 Tax Cuts and Job Acts, which we all know Trump is going to give the corporations tax breaks. We all know that's coming. And let's see. Also on Friday, the company broke ground on a 500,000 square foot biologics manufacturing facility in Wilson, North Carolina. So that's manufacturing jobs right there. Safe Bank on Monday. SoftBank CEO Masayoshi Son visited Trump at Mar-a-Lago and announced a $100 billion investment over the next 4 years with a promise to create 100,000 jobs focused on artificial intelligence and related infrastructure. So these are all things that we need, right? We need goods to be produced here. We've needed it for a long time. Now, I want to touch on this subject. I've been talking about it for a little while, and I don't think a lot of people know about this. You see this thing on my screen right here, just below me, USMCA. Okay, let's talk about it. So the USMCA was created under Joe Biden as a way to replace the NAFTA agreement. Now, you might be asking, why did we have to get rid of the NAFTA agreement? What was wrong with the NAFTA agreement? Well, the problem with the NAFTA agreement is it gave us the situation that we're in right now. Essentially, what we chose to do was give Mexico and Canada free reins to our market and give them cheaper prices to not only import goods, but make it more expensive if you choose to manufacture goods here. It was more expensive to do it here rather than send everything overseas and ship it back when it's already done. Okay, we made it easier to do it that way. Peep my cat in the background. So this is what this is. It replaced the NAFTA agreement. Now, something that a lot of people also are not talking about. Guess when the USMCA agreement comes to a close? Does anybody have a guess? Anybody want to throw a number out there? It's next year. It ends next year. So, for all of these people who are yelling at Donald Trump saying he doesn't know what he's doing with these tariffs, he's got no clue what he's doing with the infrastructure and trying to bring businesses here. Guys, we're talking about the President of the United States. He has access to information you and I will never know exist. And the reason I say that is because he's playing the leverage game. And there have been a lot of people who say the United States doesn't have any leverage. Oh, yeah, they do, especially when it comes to Canada and Mexico, okay? That's why the Mexican president is trying to play ball. Canada's not. I think Canada knows they're screwed, and they're probably not going to be included in the USMCA agreement unless they change their attitude on how they feel about everything. Because let's not forget, all we did was implement reciprocal tariffs on them, and what did they do? They responded by shutting off power to 1.5 million Americans on the northern border, right? So right now, I think Canada has to take a little bit of a step back and realize that they have to play ball. Otherwise, a year from now, they will be screwed. They won't be a part of any trade agreements whatsoever to do with the United States. We've already announced trade agreements with Argentina and, oh God, what was the other country? I believe it was a country in around the Eastern Asia area. So I'm not going to say a country because I don't want to be wrong, but I know for a fact Argentina has already announced zero tariffs. Thank you, India. Is that who it was? India? Okay. They already announced zero tariffs with us, okay? Now, you have people saying, oh, that's just China coming over and they're going to funnel in their stuff through. No, they're not. And the reason is, okay, another criticism that people have of Donald Trump right now is that he even put tariffs on Penguin Island. Sorry, guys. Penguin Island, right? The reason he did that was because he knows what China wants to do. Trump would never sign an agreement with a country if he knows they're going to allow Chinese manufacturers to push the products through that country. Surely we understand this. The two truths cannot be true at the same time. You can't say that Donald Trump doesn't know what he's doing and he's applying too many tariffs, and then also say he doesn't know what he's doing because he applied tariffs to the Penguin Island. Okay, because it's it's the same idea. So I just want to get this across to everybody. Everybody losing their minds about these tariffs, guys. Yes, things are going to get temporarily more expensive. We all know this. But it is what has to happen, guys. We have to buckle down. We have to save money, stop spending money for a little while. Put it in your back pocket because it's not going to last forever. What he's trying to do is put money in all of our pockets. Whether you're the one that is going to end up getting the manufacturing job or not that is going to be coming here, simply by somebody having that manufacturing job in the United States is going to generate more money for you. It's more taxes. Okay, if they live in New York, we already know all those roads get taxed and tolled like hell. Okay, so those people are going to get taxed even more. The more people you working, the better off your country is. We all understand this. So if anybody has anything they want to add to this, I'm going to keep moving on. Otherwise, I want to talk about the other investments. So United Arab Emirates, after meeting with Trump, the United Arab Emirates committed a 10-year, $1.4 trillion. Guys, I don't think we're realizing. I will bring this up if you guys don't believe me, but the entire presidency of Joe Biden, he only generated, you know what? I'm going to bring up the number. I know it's 900 billion, but I'm going to give you the exact number that I saw if I can find it. I hope so. Oh God, I hope I can find it. Here we go. I think this is it. Well, that's not it. Okay. Well, guys, I can't give you that information because I can't find it. I may have taken a screenshot and it's probably in my saved. It's probably in my computer, but I don't feel like going through all of my pictures of my computer to try to find it because I've got a lot of screenshots. But we're just going to keep going. I want you guys to understand the United Arab Emirates investment, that one single investment is larger than all the investments that Joe Biden accrued throughout his entire presidency. One investment is better than everything Joe Biden did as far as economics goes. So these people that are talking about the stock market, these people that are talking about the economy, just don't know what the hell they're talking about. Unless you're saying that it's going to get temporarily bad and then it's going to get better, you're not being honest because you don't know what's going on and you're not paying attention. Okay, let's move on. And I just want to touch on this $1.4 trillion from United Arab Emirates, okay? Let's move on. Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, a semiconductor grant TSMC, announced earlier this month in response to Trump's tariffs threat on foreign chips that it would invest another $100 billion into its U.S. operations. The anticipated new chip fabrication plants, two advanced packaging facilities, and a new research design center will increase the company's total investment in Phoenix to $165 billion, the largest foreign direct investment in U.S. history, guys. Man, it feels good. I can't lie. It feels good because people want to say all kinds of stuff that they think is true. But then when you take a look at what's actually going on, it's not at all what they say. Apple. This was a little while ago. I remember when he announced this. Tech giant Apple announced a $500 billion investment. And NVIDIA. On Thursday, the White House announced that chipmaker NVIDIA would invest hundreds of billions of dollars over the next 4 years in U.S.-based manufacturing options. Well, let's think about this, guys. The USMCA ends next year. Trump is putting tariffs on all imports. And we just got, let's see, 1.4 trillion, 100 billion, 55 billion, 100 billion. So we're talking at least probably somewhere in the 2 trillions, if not a little bit more, right? Probably more than 2 trillion. Okay. Plus the gold cards. Okay. Guys, surely you can see the writing on the wall right now. Everything that Trump is doing is setting us up for a huge win in 2026 and 2027. Huge. To the point where, guys, we don't have the Ukraine burden anymore. We don't have to worry about paying them, sending them any money. We're not worried about NATO. We're not sending them 80% of all funds that went through NATO. We're not sending that anymore. And then we have all of these investments plus the tariffs basically saying, hey, guys, yeah, the American product might cost a little bit more, sure, but buy it. And then that's for right now. Once these tariffs fully implement, because they started 2 days ago, and there's more going into effect in the next 2 days. We are going to see everything Trump is doing is setting us up for economic independency and not leaning on other countries to essentially invest in us so we can buy their goods. Essentially, it was like economic blackmail, what was going on. Every country, no, I won't say every country, the large amount of countries that we traded with had tariffs against us, okay? And for some reason, I don't know why, Biden didn't address that in the USMCA. He didn't touch on it at all. And it's kind of surprising to me. And anybody who wants to say that Trump is doing a bad job, whatever, you can disagree, but something had to shake. A $1 to $2 billion in the hole every year to China. That is not USMCA was Trump. No, it was USMCA was Joe Biden. It was signed in Biden was not NAFTA. Bill Clinton signed NAFTA. USMCA was Biden. And USMCA contract ends in a year. That's what Trump is setting up for everybody. Everybody that's crying about these tariffs and everything, Trump is putting these countries on notice. He's saying, hey, bro, I know you see what we're doing here. We're bringing infrastructure here. We're building things here. Either get with the program and get rid of your tariffs, or we don't need you anymore. We're going to be self-sufficient. And the things that we do need from you, sure, yeah, tariff us, whatever. But we're going to be making goods too. And if you want anything of our goods, you're going to be hit with a tariff just as well. And I think it's pretty interesting. So many people have a problem with this, but they don't have a problem with Elizabeth Warren. They don't have a problem with Nancy Pelosi, okay? These specific people who have been in Congress for way too long and made way too much money. Guys, I just want you to know that Elizabeth Warren 20 years ago was saying the same things that Doge and Trump are saying now. The only difference is it's a Democrat saying it now, or it was a Democrat saying it now. It's a Republican saying it now, specifically Donald Trump, and that's a problem to a lot of people. And whatever, that's fine. You can feel that way. This is America. USMCA was not Trump, Jeff. Look, I'm not trying to be mean to you, bro. I promise. It was Joe Biden. You should go look that up. And I actually did right before I came on this. So, sorry, Navy girl. I didn't see you request. I wasn't paying attention. I apologize. So yeah, guys, we clearly see the writing on the wall, what Trump is trying to do. And why is it that people like Jeff have a problem with what Trump is doing, yet he had no problem, like I said, with the scamming, the money laundering? Our Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, already came out I think 2 months ago, and said, hey guys, we've known this abuse and fraud has been going on for a long time. We just couldn't prove it, but we can prove it now. And look, if Democrats want to say people need to be arrested, I 100% agree with you. Nancy Pelosi, get her ass for insider trading, because it's fucking obvious. People who very obviously sold out to foreign countries and or private companies for their own self-interest to make money and vote, basically lobbying, but on a larger scale. So it's interesting to me that all these people, guys, everybody that's disagreeing with me, I want you to look at this screen and realize that the United Arab Emirates, now everybody look at me, everybody look at my screen. I know you can see it. Stop typing. After a meeting with Trump, the United Arab Emirates committed a 10-year, $1.4 trillion agreement with the United States, U.S. That single investment was larger than every single investment Biden got during his entire presidency. So if you want to talk about success and not knowing what they're doing and failure, talk about your boy Sleepy Joe, okay? That's all I'm going to say. Talk about his ineffectiveness. Talk about how Trump signed more executive orders in the first week than he ever signed in his whole presidency. Oh, you can't read it? Oh. Y'all already tried. So anyways, I just want to point that out to you guys. Anybody that's disagreeing with me, anybody who has a problem with Trump fixing the economy, just realize he's doing what's best for you. You might not like him. You might not appreciate him. He doesn't care. I don't care. It doesn't matter. It's going to help you in the end, and I'm sure you're going to be sad for it, but nobody's really worried about your tears. Anyways, so we have another little subject I want to get to. Let's see here. Oh, that's the wrong. Select the wrong one. Okay, here we go. All right. Since you guys don't believe me, here it is. In comparison, Joe Biden In comparison, the Biden administration, as of October 2024, created over 700,000 new manufacturing jobs and announced over $910 billion in private manufacturing investments, according to the Commerce Department. Guys, are you following what I'm saying? Are all of you that are disagreeing with me following what I'm saying? Use your listening ears. Don't type because you're upset. Use your listening ears. The single investment from the United Arab Emirates was larger, the single investment, than anything Joe Biden did his entire presidency. Guys, if you want to talk about incompetent, if you want to talk about useless, if you want to talk about dumb, it's your boy Sleepy Joe, all right? And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to say something that I don't normally say on live when I'm being kind of, I'm kind of swinging the Trump hammer a little bit. I think you guys would have won in this previous election had you actually stood on your own 2 feet and protested against your own party because they didn't have your own self-interest in mind. When they put Kamala and Waltz and none of you voted, none of you said a word. You just let it go. You didn't care. You didn't challenge nothing. But now you want to have a lot to say about Donald Trump now that he's fixing the economy. Interesting. He didn't break the economy? Says who? We go $1 to $2 billion in debt every year with China. Who said he didn't break the economy? We're worried about Social Security not existing in 20 years, which, to be fair, that's been a thing that people have said for a long time, but we're getting pretty close. Now, let's see. Guys, I don't know why. Look, I'm going to be honest. I think Trump is a narcissist. I'll tell you that. I think Trump is a narcissist. But what I don't do is allow that thought to blind everything that is going on in front of me. I don't allow my opinion of Donald Trump being a narcissist to blind the fact that I understand that he knows what the hell is going on. I understand that he knows the USMCA contract ends in a year. That's part of the tariffs, right? We understood what he was doing with the tariffs to begin with, creating infrastructure, bringing jobs back, right? But what a lot of you don't understand is the USMCA contract ends in a year. Now, if you don't know what the USMCA contract is, it's a contract between the United States, Mexico, and Canada. It was similar to the NAFTA agreement, except it had new rules. Different things applied to different things of commerce, right? So it wasn't the same trade agreements that they had. And by the way, a lot of you probably also don't know this. There are a lot of products that are being brought over to the United States right now that are not being tariffed because they fall under the USMCA guidelines, okay? A lot of you don't know that either. And I'm sure you'll tell me I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, which doesn't bother me at all. Because I can give you 5 ways to Sunday why I believe I'm right and why I believe you're wrong. And I'm going to bring this back up just because people seem to have a problem with it. Now, I think it's a good example of people who want to say things about Joe Biden, people who want to say things about all kinds of people, but they don't have a problem with us going $1 to $2 billion into debt every year. Why do none of you have anything to say about that? You realize how big of a problem that is. So when Trump actually does fix the economy, how many of you are going to apologize? Because I'll tell you what. If Biden had done what Trump is doing right now, brother, I'd fucking stand and applaud and be so happy. I would be so happy. Because to me, it's not about who did it. It's not about who came up with the idea. It's the fact that somebody's trying to stand on their own 2 feet and support us, stand up for us. That's what Trump is doing. That's what Trump is doing. And he's actually standing up also, not just for Republicans, but also, you can see my neck. There you go. There you go, bro. It's kind of long if you ask me. But why'd you make me do that? After a meeting with Trump, the United Arab Emirates committed a 10-year, $1.4 trillion agreement with the United States. Guys, I'm going to keep talking about this because I don't think a lot of you understand. With these investments being announced, it means Trump has every ball is in Trump's court when it comes to Canada and Mexico. Now, it ends next year, which means they're going to have to open up negotiations. What do you think it's going to look like when over the last year, Trump has given us over $2 trillion of investments while they're sitting over there crying, shutting off power to 1.5 million Americans because we implemented reciprocal tariffs. And you want to tell me that Donald Trump is the unhinged one? No. What Donald Trump is somebody who is a bit of a narcissist, and he uses that to his fucking political gain. He's not worried about stepping on toes. This is the same guy that was almost tried to be forcibly removed from office. And you know what I'm talking about, more than one time, okay? They tried to throw him under the jail. They tried to physically remove him with a lead instrument. And it didn't work. Literally tried everything, and they're scared, right? Ultimately, they're scared. That's what this all falls down to, is Democrats who are scared of going to prison, not Democrats, because that puts a bad light on what I'm trying to say. The Democrats like Nancy Pelosi, like Elizabeth Warren, who bought into the pollution, who bought into all the crap that was going on, and instead of standing on their own 2 feet and trying to hold people accountable, which is hard to do sometimes in Washington, You'll have a lot of people who don't like that. They decided to start playing the game, right? They decided to start, because if you look at an interview from about 20 years ago, like 25 years ago, of Elizabeth Warren, they are saying exactly the same things. Cut federal spending, invest in the country, bring infrastructure back, right? That's it's everything that they're talking about. And for some reason now I see all the people who are disagreeing with me. I didn't give them attention, so they left. But that's fine. That's how I like it. I'm not giving you trolls attention. And everything that we're seeing is better than what Biden did. Literally everything that we're seeing is better than what Biden did. Give me one thing that Biden is doing, anything that was better than what Trump is doing right now. I kind of butchered that. What did Biden do that is better than anything that Trump is doing right now? Please. Okay. So the PACT Act. Okay, you know what? That's a fair. I actually like the PACT Act. And I think if you want to talk about the PACT Act, I think it was a good thing that Biden did, but I won't say that it's more than anything that Trump is doing. I wouldn't say that. Because ultimately, guys, I'm gonna give you a little bit of personal information, right? I'm a diabetic. I'm a type 1 diabetic specifically, and I know how much insulin costs. I know how much my sensor costs. I know how much my insulin pump costs. So you don't need to tell me about the price of insulin. I'm well aware. And what I'm also well aware of is, just like the student loan forgiveness that Biden tried to implement that was not constitutional, it only applies to certain people, right? So if you think that I was only paying $35 for insulin, you're fucking stupid, because I wasn't. Still am not. And that's okay with me. It's not an unreasonable price, but it's not $35 a bottle. So I just want everybody to know that. Before we start talking about the PACT Act and insulin. Yeah, you can get them cheaper in Mexico. Yeah, absolutely. But anyway, we're getting off topic. All of these investments that we're seeing Trump do right now is going to directly translate into money into our pockets. People paying more taxes, corporations paying more taxes. Initially, they're going to get a tax cut. We all know this, right? We all know this. That's part of the incentive of coming back. Hey, guys, we're going to slash taxes for the first year or two, and you're not going to have to worry about it. Build up some money, and then be ready to pay your taxes. So I think I don't know. I enjoy getting on here with you guys, especially the people who like to disagree with me and then don't have a good reason for why they disagree with me. Tap. Let's see. I tried to let somebody else in earlier, and it didn't work. Oh, hello, Tap. Can you hear me? You do what? So what do you think about what I've been saying? Anyways, don't know what the hell that was, and it hurt my ears, so get out of here. So all the people in my comments that are really upset about what I'm saying doesn't make sense to me, guys, and I'm gonna keep saying it because it doesn't make sense to me. Why are you so upset about Doge going after waste and abuse and fraud that our Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, has already said that they know about? Now it's confirmed. But you don't have a problem with Nancy Pelosi, Elizabeth Warren, tariffs being implemented against the United States, us paying 80% of NATO. How many of you even knew that? We were funding 80% of NATO. We're not doing that anymore. We're not on the hook for Ukraine anymore. How many of you think we should still be paying Ukraine? Even though he told what country? Poland. He told Poland the same thing that they told us. I will send your sons and daughters to fight. And guess what? They are, because they don't have money to send. So they're sending people. He has no shame. He is not ashamed to use your family in a war. Are we understanding this? Okay, I feel like I have to talk slow for some of you. Some of you, not so much. But some of you, yes. So any person, what am I lying about? I would love to know what you think I'm lying about. Because to me, To me, look, you can say I'm lying all you want. This is fact. Everything that you're seeing on my screen right now is a fact. In fact, let's go over my favorite piece of information on this sheet. United Arab Emirates, after a meeting with Trump, the United Arab Emirates committed a 10-year, 1.4 trillion agreement with the U.S. Guys, all of you saying, I don't know what I'm talking about, misinformation, yada, 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 a bunch of hearsay. That one single investment was larger than every investment that Biden had during his entire career. Does anybody have anything to say about that? No, probably not. And that's fine. Look, guys, you're entitled to your opinion. Always. Absolutely. Always. And I'll always feel that way, no matter how much I disagree with you. But it becomes a point where you're disingenuous, right? It gets to a point where you don't want to know the truth. You just want to dislike Donald Trump. You just want to disagree with everything that he says. It doesn't matter how good, it doesn't matter how helpful any of it is. You just want to disagree. You just want to have a problem with it because it's Trump. And I'm going to say this too. I think it takes a lot to come up here and talk to a lot of you, because a lot of you are bullies. A lot of you really are bullies. You like to throw names at people that you disagree with. I'll never do that to any of you. I'll never call you, a harsh name, essentially. I might tease a little bit, but I'm not going to bully you. A lot of you are bullies, and you don't know, either you don't know that or you don't care. And a lot of you that criticize Donald Trump have the same, exactly, Blasquero, exactly. Like the narcissist Trump, you're just like him. You're just like him. So if you want to say all that about Trump, I won't disagree. He's a narcissist. But so are you. Acknowledge it. Fix it. Because you don't care about the country. You're not worried about what's best for the country. You're worried about what's best at the dinner table when you go and argue with your wife or your kids and your cousins and all them, and you want to sound smart. That's what you're worried about. You want to seem superior. You don't want to know the truth, because if you did, you would look at this information and say, I wonder if that's accurate. I wonder if the things that he's telling me is truthful and I can find this information. Because I promise in a Google search, in 2 seconds, you would find this information. You know why? Because it's on the United States webpage. You can find it there. It was announced by Donald Trump. Go to his tweets. It's all there. So that's how I feel about those of you who want to disagree with me and don't have anything genuine to say and just want to come up here and try to insult me. And it's not going to work, because I'm not bothered by your comments. Everything that I'm looking at right now makes me really happy. Just being honest with you guys. And I really enjoy doing this with you, because young people seem to be worried. They seem to be afraid that speaking their mind and talking about what they actually believe to be true and know to be true, they're going to get bullied off of the internet. And I'm not going to allow that to happen. You guys can disagree with me all you want, but just as many of you disagree with me, Trump won the popular vote. So you can have problems with it all you want. He's doing what he swore he would do. He's fixing our economy. He's creating jobs, investments. He's bringing people here. Okay. Let's see. Oh gosh, I don't know how to. So, anyways, everybody that wants to argue with me, why does nobody acknowledge the fact that this one investment is bigger than anything Biden did his entire presidency? Why does nobody have anything to say about that? He's done nothing for anyone, brother. Look at these investments. This is more than what Biden did. If you think Trump isn't doing anything for anybody, what the hell did Biden do? I'm just saying. It's fake like Honda plant. What's fake? And I don't know about a Honda plant. I heard about, was it Dodge? I believe it was Dodge. But I don't want to say, I'm not going to confirm anything, because unlike you guys, I don't just run speculative with things that I think that I heard. I don't know for sure if I heard that, so I'm not going to tell you that I heard that. But what I am going to tell you is that the United Arab Emirates has invested a $1.4 trillion investment over the next 10 years. And the USMCA basically falls apart. Thank you, Nikos, for the follow. Man, I was doing good. Um, it's big. That investment alone is bigger than anything Joe Biden did. And I remember where I was going. The USMCA. Okay, so with those of you that don't know, the USMCA was replaced the NAFTA. The NAFTA was in part of it until 2020. Okay, and then 2020 it went away. So this USMCA expires next year. Trump knows this. That's part of this tariff thing, right? That's part of bringing more jobs here. Is he knows this expires soon and we need to get the upper hand because ultimately that's how you make negotiations. You bring the hammer. And our metaphorical hammer is these investments and the tariffs. When you combine them, you have a country that doesn't need any other country at all whatsoever. A truly independent economy. And that's what Trump is trying to do. And for some reason, people have a problem with it. Some people don't have a problem with the fraud and abuse, yet they have a problem with the $1.4 trillion investment. I wonder what that says about you as a person. Okay? I'm just throwing that out there, guys. And I said earlier, a lot of you that are sitting here arguing with me don't genuinely care about what's going on. You just want to prove Trump wrong. You just want to be like, oh, God, I've hated Trump for the last 10 years or however long. I guess it'd be, it'd be about 12. I've hated Trump for over 12 years now. There's no way I'm wrong. I have to double down. Like, no. That's not what you do. And I even said earlier, guys, I even told you earlier, if Biden was the one to do this, okay, over $2 trillion in investment, and it hasn't even been a year, and he's already done way more than Joe Biden, okay? I don't see why you guys don't have a problem with that. Why investing in this country and trying to become independent economically is seen as a bad thing to you. Like, what are you upset about? Fraud and abuse equals I don't like how that's spent? Not necessarily. I mean, maybe. Sure, possibly. But that's not what Doge is going after. Doge has already given you examples. So, and I'm just throwing that out there, guys. Everything that Doge has been talking about, Elizabeth Warren, Chuck Schumer, all these people 20 years ago were talking about it. All these Democrats were talking about it. Hell, even I think Obama talked about cutting federal spending. But now because it's Donald Trump, now it's Donald Trump. So it's a problem. It's a problem. Thank you guys for the roses. So everybody that wants to sit here and disagree with me, that's fine, guys. This is America. That's fine. But you can't argue with the fact that Trump is doing more than Biden did in 4 years and less than one. Hell, has he even been in office for 6 months? Let's see. January, February, March, April, May. About 5 months, going on 6. Yeah. Not even 6 months in, and he's done more than Joe Biden. Guys, please try to defend that. I'm begging you. Try to tell me why what Trump is doing is so bad, even though we were going $1 to $2 billion into debt every year with China. Okay, every year. Tell me why you think that's a sustainable income or economy, not income. Tell me why you think that's sustainable on any level whatsoever. It's not. Okay, and that's part of why China is doing what it's doing. China realizes, oh my God, Trump doesn't want to play the game that we've been playing for the last 20 years. Trump wants to play get America right. Trump wants to play let's invest in the country and stop relying on Chinese products that aren't worth a fuck. Okay, and start making them here the right way, and then they'll be the same price after a couple years. Okay, because guess what? When you implement, okay, let's take steel for an example. This is just a random example. Chinese steel, American steel. Right now, thank you, Greg, for the follow. Right now, if you go and buy Chinese steel versus American steel, because the tariffs haven't been implemented yet, the Chinese steel is going to be cheaper. Okay. However, once these tariffs are implemented, now the American steel is cheaper. Now, the price didn't change on the American steel. It's still, let's say for comparison's sake, the Chinese was 20, Americans 25, okay? It's still going to be 25 on the American side at the beginning. But the Chinese product is now going to be about $30. Therefore, you're going to opt for the American product, which means more money back into the U.S. economy, not China. Why is this so hard for so many of you to understand? Like, I'm trying to paint a picture for you where you understand what Trump is trying to do. And when I tell you what what Trump is trying to do, oh, well, I don't like that, or Elon Musk, or some dumb shit that doesn't make any sense. And when you look at this number, $1.4 trillion, and the USMCA expires next year, guys, clearly he knows what he's doing. Look, you can disagree. Guys, you can say he's doing the wrong economic policy all you want. But the fact is, we had to shake something. We could not continue to go into a hole with China forever, because that's what was going to happen. Forever and ever and ever, the Fed interest rate was going to fluctuate, and we were just going to keep owing China money over and over and over until one day they had enough. Now, and I'll tell you this, I genuinely think China is scared out of their minds right now. They are terrified because with the NAFTA agreement, it opened up the door for Chinese trade. Chinese trade from China and through other countries where it looked like it wasn't Chinese products, but they were. And China realizes Donald Trump don't want Chinese products no more. Donald Trump wants American products that are made in America. Donald Trump wants American jobs, not Chinese jobs. He wants what's best for America, not China, okay? And I just don't understand why you guys don't get this. You disagree with me. You call me a liar. You say it's misinformation. Guys, it's right in front of you. Look at your screen. It's right in front of you, guys, the investments. If you don't believe them, go look them up. Okay? It's not my job to do research for you. I'm bringing you the facts. If you don't like it, if you don't believe it, go look it up. Okay? So, I'm just trying to throw this out to you guys. Trump does know what he's doing. Trump knows very well what he's doing. And he's going to continue what he's doing because, as you see, y'all try to bring him down with physical violence. You try to bring him down criminally. You try to throw him under the jail, and none of it worked. None of it worked. And I'm sure that burns, right? I'm sure that burns. And you know what? Maybe I should play a sad song for you guys. Maybe I should play you know what? We're going to play a sad violin real quick. I got it. Yeah. There we go. You guys ready? What are they going to do? What are they going to do? They can't cry. They can't claim victimhood anymore. No. That's how I feel for you guys. That's genuinely what you make me feel like you want me to do. Because what else do you want from me? What else could you possibly want from Trump? Please, somebody tell me. Everything that he is doing has been for the good, for the greater good. And every time something like we are saying happens, oh, Trump is a bad guy. Trump is this, Trump is that. We can't give him credit because he's a bad person, a blah, 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 blah. Just, guys, and I told you this earlier. If Joe Biden did this, I would celebrate. I would be so fucking happy. Dude, hats off fucking to you, Biden. I'm so happy. Thank you for standing up for the country. I'm glad somebody finally did it. But no, because it's Donald Trump, you guys just don't seem to understand the big picture. You don't seem to understand the big picture, and it's called projection. When you constantly say things about Donald Trump that you know not to be true, and then you ignore the things that are true, you're disingenuous, and you're everything that you say you don't like about Donald Trump. You say it's misinformation. You say he's a criminal. You say he just hates people in general, and he's a bad guy. Well, everything that you're saying about him isn't true in the sense that these investments happened. He's doing a better job than Biden. And you wonder why people don't take you serious sometimes. You wonder why when you have these arguments with Republicans or on the fence Republicans who sometimes vote dim, sometimes vote right based on the politics that are running, the candidates that are running. Instead, you you like to pick one side, stay on that side, and for some reason, a lot of you chose the left to grandstand. Guys, the left doesn't have a soapbox to stand on. Remember when they tried to call themselves the party of, what was it? The party of, oh gosh, I don't even remember. It was like accountability or something. The party of decency. That's what it was. The party of decency. Do you guys remember that? You guys remember that, right? Well, the problem is the party isn't decent. The party is not decent. The party nitpicks, the party bullies, and the party name calls. Everything that they say they don't like about Donald Trump. Let's not forget, these are the same group of people that didn't want to stand for DJ Daniel. Okay? These are the same groups of people that come out and judge Donald Trump for everything that he's doing. Meanwhile, he literally just passed a 10-year, $1.4 trillion agreement with the United Arab Emirates. That's huge, guys. That is huge. Not to mention, guys, this was posted a few weeks ago, okay? So more than likely, there's been more investments that I don't know about. And I'm going to talk about it again. The USMCA, okay? When the USMCA expires, we are going to have a face-to-face with Mexico and Canada. No matter how much they don't like us, no matter how much they want to keep the power off to the 1.5 million Americans on the Canadian border, they understand that does not look good for them when you come to a negotiation table. It doesn't. It looks really bad. And then you have Mexico, who agreed to stop the, I don't want to say the word because TikTok, the fent, I'll just say that, the fent coming in. They agreed to stop it, at least slow it down. And Trump was like, guys, this isn't good enough. What you're doing is not good enough. And then he essentially had to sign an executive order labeling all of these traffickers and stuff domestic terrorists. Okay? That's what he had to do because Mexico wouldn't take accountability and do their job. So now you have two countries. I want you to follow along with me, okay? I know it hurts. I know you're probably crying behind the screen. Just follow along with me. These investments right here are the key to that right there, the USMCA. It is the key. Oh, what happened? We went away for half of a second. It is the key because Mexico makes products. They ain't got $2 trillion worth of investments that was just announced. Canada, they've got lumber. They've got energy. We've still got more. So when they come to the bargaining table, they're going to have to not only lift all of their tariffs against us, but they're also going to have to play ball with whatever we want them to do as far as, okay, you want this product, you're going to pay a tariff. You want this product, you're going to pay a tariff. And when they say, oh, God, that's a bad idea, well, maybe it is, and maybe we'll work through it, and they won't last forever. But this is exactly what you guys did to us for a long time. For about, let's see, Bill Clinton signed NAFTA, the 80s, so let's say 45 years? 45 years we've been getting screwed? And then not to mention that Trump pulled us out of NATO. So I think these are all great things because we were getting screwed and laundering money through all types of countries, and it was protected by our government. So anyway, we've been going for about an hour. I'm going to get off of here, you guys. If you enjoyed my content, please follow and consider becoming a member. I just got the member thing. But I don't have any yet. If you want to become my first member, you will have a special logo next to your name every time you come on here. We're going to get out of here. If you want to watch the recorded version, it'll be on YouTube, and we will be back on Wednesday night, okay? And everybody who doesn't agree with what I said, let me just end on this take. United Arab Emirates investment is bigger than anything Joe Biden did his entire presidency. Anything. Investment, economic, as far as here, like, okay, I kind of just said the same thing twice. As far as investments, economics, and being involved in other countries' economics and paying their bills for them. So yeah, I'm gonna get out of here, you guys. Thanks for hanging out, and yeah, I'll see you on Wednesday. Peace. Everybody have a good night. Be nice to each other. Was that you liking it? It wasn't? I know. It's so fucking annoying, isn't it? Somebody messaged me during the live stream and it made me click like 10 different buttons because it was like super graphic, super graphic. Are you sure you want to see it? No, it was somebody saying shut the fuck up. I thought they were going to send me like a horrible image or something. But I still was going to look at it.